ना ऐड करता हूँ. Hello and welcome to everyone to episode number 31 of Deep Point with GillyCricket. Today's episode, just like last time, is a little different because it's not focusing on men's cricket. It's focusing on women's cricket. And whenever in the past I've had discussions on women's cricket, I've had guests along with me because I feel that is where a lot of passionate women's cricket fans can actually add a lot more insight and can bring in their own opinions, which open up the doors for a discussion on a lot of things. Today, what we'll discuss would be how do India shape up for the women's tournament in the Asian Games, and what could be the expectations from the tournament in terms of their preparation leading into the World T20 next year in Bangladesh. Now, Indian team last played a T20I series with Bangladesh in Bangladesh, and before that there was a WPL, and before that was the World T20 where they finished in the semi-finals. So there's not been a lot of cricket for the Indian team in general, but some members have played in the 100 and a few other tournaments. So I'll be adding two guests. They're very passionate women's cricket fans. One is Veena, who's a huge Mithali Raj fan, and the other is Kshitij, who I've come across as someone on Twitter who really follows a lot of women's cricket and cricket in general and has a good eye for detail. So I'll just be adding both of them, and I hope to have a great discussion with both of them. And I hope it's a discussion that even our viewers enjoy. So just be adding both of them right now. Hi, Veena, how are you?
Hi, Gil. I am good, and thanks for having me.
No problem. And Kshitij is here as well. Hi, Kshitij, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good. Lovely to see you both here. I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
So, guys, I as you are two of those people who I know who really follow the game. I want to know the first thoughts that both of you have towards the squad, and what are your expectations from the tournament? Like, can we say that India should win the gold? Because in Commonwealth Games they came up short in the final. In the World T20 they lost out in the semi-finals. But given the competition that is there, it's only the Asian teams. Is it a is it a realistic expectation to believe that India can win the gold?
If you'll ask me, like I think they should win the gold. The squad is pretty good. Yeah, there is some flaw, but the team is better, like in the most of format. So I think they'll do good. I Gil, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, can you speak louder? There's some echo at your end.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm saying like the squad is good, and I think they should win the gold because the squad is pretty balanced. Yeah, there is some flaws in the when we speak about the bowlers because they have dropped Puja and all. So, but they should win the gold.
Now, this Asian Games is a maiden call up for the likes of Tita Sadhu and Kanika Ahuja. Also, Richa Ghosh makes a comeback. Uh, Kshitij, coming to you, what do you make of these new entrants in the squad and the comeback of someone like Richa Ghosh? And along with it, what do you make of Pooja Astakar being in the reserves and the standbys and not being in the main squad?
It's kind of
Sorry, I
uh,
had put you on mute. Can you come again?
yeah. So the overall squad, it is something that's been a problem with the Indian women's team for a while now, because if we look at the last series that India played at home against Australia last year in December, we had some names over there, and then the squad that played in the T20 World Cup, and then the squad that played against Bangladesh. So there have been chopping and changing the squad, the selectors, and so you mentioned about Richa Ghosh. Richa Ghosh wasn't there, and then now she's back in the squad. Similarly, Pooja Vastrikar was there in the Bangladesh in the squad for the Bangladesh tour, but right now she is in the reserves. And someone like Tita has sort of is in the main squad. So and who has absolutely no experience. She did not play in the WPL at all. Pooja Vastrikar played a couple of games in the WPL. She may or may not have done well, but the fact that she had game time, right, and Tithash had absolutely no game time. So this is something that I think I have been wondering about, that how Tithar sort of Sadhu got into the squad at the first place. And then Pooja's case is kind of very peculiar, so to say, because Amanjot Kaur was given the new ball in a couple of games in Bangladesh, while the same captain Harmanpreet did not use Amanjot Kaur at all for Mumbai Indians in the WPL. So these are a couple of things that are that should bother the fans in general, because uh, there is no clarity of roles, so to say, because even though we do not have a head coach yet, but I think at least the captain should be clear as to what he wants from a players. So yeah, that's my first thoughts.
Well, thank you so much, Hitesh. I just put up the squad for our viewers to see. Now, Veena, coming to you, I want to know something about Kanika Ahuja from your end. She was playing for Bangalore in the WPL, and she did decently for them as a finisher. Now, what can we expect from Kanika Ahuja in the Asian Games, and who does she really replace in the squad or in the 11?
Yeah, so I think the Kanika Ahuja is like in the absence of Harmanpreet Kaur, the presence of Kanika Ahuja will be like great because we have only Richa Ghosh at the finisher end, so the Kanika Ahuja can help her. Also, like after like she can't replace anyone right now, but as we know, like Harman can't play the first two match. So I think in that case, like Kanika Ahuja will be very good for India team because we have only two finisher right now, Richa and Kanika. Also, she can provide some bowlers like she can give two or three overs because she also can bowl and she is good like she can play like with a better strike rate and she is good. Also, she performed in the WPL. So this will be a good game time for her because if we want like someone in India team like after Harman and Richa, there is no one who can go bang and bang. If we want to like improve our lower middle order, then Kanika Ahuja is good because we know like Deepti, Devika, and these all are not very much good in like to score quickly at that.
Now, Kshitij, coming to you, I want to understand from you someone like Rajeshwari Gaikwad has made a comeback. She was left out of the squad for Bangladesh. What do you think prompted that decision? You know, could they have, given a chance to Saika Ishak, who's also a left arm spinner? Or do you think, Rajeshwari Gaikwad was dropped unfairly in the first place and now they've looked to correct that? What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I personally am not a huge fan of Rajeshwari Gaikwad when it comes to T20 Is, because I feel she's very what to say, bowl at the same speed all the time. She doesn't really vary her pace that much when it comes to T20s, and the batters can line her up. So I'm not a very good fan, very big fan of hers. Uh, yeah, she did well in WPL for UP Warriors, and sort of made a case for Bangladesh tour. But I think for the Asian Games, Shaika Ishak is in the reserves, and like we saw that Shaika can bowl in the power play as well. And if you look at the difference between Rajeshwari Gaikwad and Saika Ishak, you will find that Shaika is someone who darts the ball in, right? And Rajeshwari is more of a bowler who will give flight to the ball and will prompt the batsman to come out of the crease and sort of hit big shots. But Shaika is someone who can also bowl in the power play, bowl those Yorkers when needed. So and bowl at a better pace. So I think for the Asian Games and otherwise also looking into the future, I thought maybe Shaika would have been a better option than Rajeshwari. Yes, Rajeshwari. Look, Rajeshwari can still do well because you won't find teams who are that good. The only two good teams in the Asian Games will be Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh if you will say face them in the semis or the finals. So she still might do well, but I still feel Shaika should have been in the squad.
Fair enough. Thank you, Kshitij. Now, I am a little concerned. about the pace bowling reserves in the squad, because three of our main pacers in Shikhar, Renuka, and Pooja Vastakar are not there. So, amongst the options that are there, who do you believe could be the best pacer coming out of the tournament for India? Would it be someone like Tita Sadhu, who's got her maiden call up, or could it be someone like Amanjot Kaur? What do you guys think?
The Sadhu very high because I have seen all the matches of the under 19 World Cup, and Tita Sadhu like she give you wicket in the power play. So she is pretty good, and I think, but I have doubt like they will give chance to her because I think Amanjot Kaur they will pick one of the Amanjot Kaur or Tita Sadhu, and Anjali Sarvani is also good. So I think if the Tita Sadhu will play, then she will come out as good. But if they will not give chance, then I think Anjali Sarvani will be good.
Now, now another important update that I want to tell the viewers here is that Harmanpreet Kaur will be missing the first two games because of
Yeah.
what happened in Bangladesh. Now, in that scenario, on whose shoulders does the responsibility of protecting the middle order or shepherding the middle order falls on? Do you expect someone like Smriti Mandana to, drop anchor, or do you expect someone like Jemima to, take up that role, who's not been amongst the runs of late? So, how do you see that dynamic play out for the Indian team? Kshitij, you can go first, and then Veena can answer.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the squad was announced first, and then I think the incident with Harmanpreet happened in Bangladesh. So now, in the Bangladesh tour, Harleen Deol was a part of the squad, right? And we all know by now that Harleen's strike rate is an issue when it comes to T20Is, but she did well for Gujarat Giants in the WPL, and she's a very good ODI player, right? So I think she could have been one player who, in the absence of Harmanpreet Kaur, could have sort of handled the middle overs, because rotating the strike and everything else. And the other players like Jemima, Smriti, and these players could have played their shots. So, but since Harleen is not there, I think the other player who has the ability to do that, or who must step up in this case, would be Dipti Sharma. Should be Dipti Sharma, because she has enough experience now, because she's been playing for almost a decade now. So she has that experience, and she has batted up the order. So I think it would be a good opportunity for India to give her a chance at number 4, number 5, and see how she goes, because she did well as a finisher in T20Is last year. I mean, her numbers improved drastically last year, but since the WPL, she has been very. I mean, she has looked very average, right? So I just want to see if she can handle those middle overs and rotate the strike, because again, you won't have bowlers who will trouble her a lot, right? So and as far as I have understood the ground dimensions and the ground conditions in China, I think it will suit her game. So I think she could be the one who, in the absence of Harmanpreet, can actually cash in.
Okay.
Veena, your thoughts on how the
Yeah.
middle order can shape up and who can take that responsibility?
So like I'll pick two. One is Jemima Rodriguez. I think she has great ability to anchor the inning, and she knows how to play this role very much like better than anyone. So I will pick her. Like if and the second is Devika Vedya. As you know, like in the down the order we can't use her because she like can't hit the hard. So she is the second anchor which India can use if the wickets fall early. Otherwise, so she should come like Kanika and Risha should come. Otherwise, like if like wicket fall early, then they can use Devika Bhatia. She is good. Like she can anchor, and I think we all remember like she won us the one match. Like she didn't won, but she let draw that match by hitting a four against Australia. So yeah, she is good option to anchor the inning.
So, before we look at the entire 11 that could be formed, what would be your top five? One, you can give me a top five with Harmanpreet being there, and you can give me a top five without Harmanpreet, both of you. Kshitij, you go first.
All right. So I think in my team, I won't keep Shefali to begin with. I'll drop her. So for me, my top five would be Jemmy and Smriti as openers. And then at number 3 will be Amanjot Kaur. And then it will be Deepti Sharma. and then it will be Richa Ghosh. So that will be my top five.
This is in absence of Harmanpreet. When Harmanpreet is
Yes.
there, then how does the dynamic change?
Then Amanjot Kaur, so Harmanpreet replaces Amanjot Kaur.
Fair enough.
So
Veena, your top five?
yeah, so mine will be like Smriti, Shefali, third at Jamie, and then Richa, and then Kanika Ahuja. And when the
Okay,
Harmans comes in, yeah, so like when Harmans like loves to play at 3 or 4, so then like they can bring Jamie down because they don't listen us actually, so they can Jamie down, and then she will come at place of Kanika Ahuja.
fair enough. Now, Kshitij, you said you'll drop Shefali. Uh, has it got to do with her inability to work against the ball directed into her body, the short ball, or is it just got to do with her inconsistency over the last 6 months or a year? What is it that has prompted that call from your end?
So uh, it's basically her inability to learn from her mistakes, because we have observed so many times that you know, she hits a couple of boundaries in the first over, and then she again tries to go hard at the bowler, and then she gives her wickets away, right? Wicket away. So just to give a couple of examples, I have seen her going after Ash Gardner against Australia, but her numbers against Ash Gardner are not that great, uh, and still she tries to go hard against her. So and then she gets out. So that is one thing that I've observed with her, which happens regularly with her, right? Which happens regularly. So and again, if you even if we go back to the WPL, you'll find that she hit a couple of half centuries, which was good, and because when she gets going, right? I mean, but when she doesn't, then she leaves the team in trouble in the power play itself, right? Because what happens is that she tries to go big. She'll play 6 7 balls, 8 balls, and she'll score 4 5 runs, or say even 10 12 runs, and then get out. But after that, Jamie has to come at three, and Jamie actually needs some time to settle in and then accelerate. So and she can do well, right? And she has done well at number three. Whatever little Commonwealth Games is the best example, and even if you look at the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. So I just feel that having Jemmy at the top of the order will give her enough time to settle in, to see a couple of overs, and then she can be much more consistent than Shefali. So that is the idea behind dropping Shefali and having Jemmy at the top.
Veena, do you tend to agree with what Kshitij has mentioned, or do you differ on that?
No, no, I completely live with. So I think Shafali is very good in T20. She has scored. Like yeah, there is problem like to play spin. But she is good. Like once she'll inform, like she can finish the game actually. Like if she play like 25 and 34 runs quickly, then there is lot of time left for Jamie to anchor and to come in the like she can take her time, Jamie, because Jamie needs some time. So like there is so much time left for the others batter, so they can do pretty good. So I think I will never drop Shafali from T10 to right now. Batter is not a big issue for her like to drop.
But her lack of returns and the same form of dismissal must be something which would be frustrating as a women's cricket fan and an Indian women's cricket fan, because sometimes, like, I'm not someone who watches each and every game of women's cricket team, but I do try and watch the Indian matches, and I also sometimes feel that the manner of dismissals is pretty much the same for Shefali. So, how do you react to that, and how frustrating or disappointing can it be as a fan to you?
So we like when we come in this point, then there is a issue with the coaches. To be honest, like India has never has a like a particular coach, so they can work on it. So they like coaches changes after every series. So I think if there will be a one coach, they can guide her, right? So I think there is this is the main issue for them. So I will not blame only Shafali for it. Yes, of course the player should rectify his mistake. But yeah, she struggled, but I think she is good. And in front of this team also, like she is pretty good. So I don't think so. This will be a big concern. She will win you matches.
Okay, I think that's enough discussion for Shifali today. But just how Shifali was a youngster at one point of time and how everyone was excited about her. There's another youngster who's there in the Asian Games squad. She got her maiden call up in the series versus Bangladesh. I'm talking about Minnu Mani. Uh, there's been a lot of talk about her in recent times. What are both of your first impressions of her? What do you expect from her? And is it a talent that really excites you, or you still want to take some time before you make your initial judgments about Minnu Mani?
Yeah, so if you'll ask me, like Minumani is good. Like currently, like as we know, Harmanpreet will not play the first two matches. So because of that, like place of Minumani is quietly fixed. Because like yeah, I know that she is a off spinner, same like Deepti. So that in the bowling there will be no much variety because we have Deepti. But in batting, like she will come at in my playing, she will come at six after the Kanika Ahuja. So like I have seen her play finishing the match for her domestic teams, and she has done pretty good job. Like if the completely batting order is fall, then still she stays and she scores few sixes and all. So she is pretty good. So yeah, I rate her high and I will pick her. And this is all like quite exciting for her because she is the first player from Kerala. So yeah, this will be like lot of excitement for her. Yeah.
Kshitij, your first thoughts on Meenu Mani? What do you make of
Uh,
her as a talent, and where do you think that she can really fit into the Indian 11 if she can in the first place?
I mean, I was really surprised when she was sort of picked for the Bangladesh tour because I know all the sentiments that is associated of of her being the first player for Karnataka tribal women as well. So that is something that I mean got into the Indian fans' minds that okay, wow. So but she's not an exceptional talent, right? In any ways, like she bowls off spin and if you followed Delhi Capital's journey during the WPL, you would know that she wasn't being seen as a bowler at all. She was picked as a batter, right? And the couple of matches that she played, she didn't look like she's ready for for the big stage because I felt that there was a couple of problems with her technique because she was not uh, either playing beside the ball or so those couple of things which I noticed was something which surprised me when she was picked for the. Now, her performance in Bangladesh may excite fans or viewers in general, but I think I'll say take that performance with a pinch of salt because the pitches in Bangladesh were really conducted to spin bowling. So someone like a Jemima Rodriguez also picked up quite a good haul in one of those games. So much so that she got an opportunity to bowl in the 100. So so I mean so I'm not really excited by her at this moment. I think we have good options, better options. Someone like a Shriyanka Patil is out of the squad, who did brilliantly in the recently concluded WCPL. She was the highest wicket taker, and she hasn't even played for India. So an uncapped player playing in a foreign league and picking up 9-10 wickets. So I think she is one that we should have picked for the Asian Games. And if at all we need an off spinner who can bat a bit, I think Kanika Ahuja is a better option than Minu Mani at the moment. If you look at the squad.
Fair enough. There's another player who got her maiden call up in the Bangladesh tour, but didn't really get a game, and she's there in the squad as well. I'm talking about the other wicketkeeper, who's Uma Chetri, who hails from Assam. Uh, can we look at her getting a game, or do you think Richa Ghosh is someone who would really play all games? Like, because she didn't get a chance in Bangladesh, I feel she will not. But how do you look at her as a talent? And if she doesn't really get a game right now, can we expect her to be in the squad next time around? Because uh, consistency in selection, like you guys have mentioned, has not been a thing with Indian women's cricket in a recent time. So, what should we really expect from her, and what do we know about her?
Okay, so I'll just go. So we have two. I mean, the Indian team has been carrying two keepers, and they have been changing Yashtika Bhatia and Richa Ghosh, right? So Yashtika Bhatia played all the games in Bangladesh, and now Richa Ghosh has been picked as the first choice keeper for the Asian Games. Now Yashtika Bhatia has been completely left out of the squad. So this means that I think the selectors are no longer looking at Yashtika Bhatia. And then now looking at new faces now, but this is again a bit surprising because Jastika Bhatia got the emerging player of the tournament award in the WPL. So again, that is something which is again very surprising. But again, just talking about Uma Chhetri, I think if you saw whatever there was to see during the emerging Asia Cup, Women's Asia Cup, I think with limited opportunities that she got to bat, she actually showed that she can hit a long ball. Yeah, she might be shorter in stature, but I think she has got that game to go hard from ball one. And as far as keeping skills are concerned, I think I mean I think that Tanya Bhatia is the best keeper that India has got at the moment, but her keeping is actually also quite good. She did a good job on those turning tracks in the emerging Asia Cup. So I think she's a good talent. But I don't think that she will get a game because the best position that she can play in is in the top three. I don't see her playing as a finisher, so I don't think there will be an opportunity for her.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think she'll not get chance to play because at the Asian Games there will be limited games also. So yeah, she'll not get chance. But yeah, she is good. I've seen him she can hit quite good, and yeah. But like we have Richa Go, so we can't give her chance. But yeah, that is great. Like if the selector should keep her continue because if they want to move on from Yashtika, then it's pretty good to give some game to Uma Chetri. But but currently they can't give it like because it's a Asian game and medal is on strike. So yeah.
All right. Now, I asked you guys about your top five in the absence of Harmanpreet and with Harmanpreet. Now let's just move on and discuss what could be India's 11 going into that first game. Now I just want the viewers to know that India would be straight away playing in the quarterfinals, and the potential is that India might meet Pakistan in the semifinals if both teams win, right? Yeah. So there is that. Now, what would be your 11s or how would they look like? Kshitij, you can go first.
To open the innings. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you were on mute. Can you start again?
Yeah, so for me, like I mentioned, Jemmy and Smriti will open the innings, and then at three, in the absence of Harmanpreet Kaur, and Harmanpreet Kaur will only come in the finals if India reaches there. So I think till then, Amanjot Kaur will bat at three, and at four it will be Deepti, and at five it will be Richa Ghosh, and six Kanika Ahuja, and then seven it will be Tithas, then Rajeshwari Gaikwad, then we'll have Devika, and then we'll have Anusha Baredi. So that will be my 11 for the first game for the quarterfinal.
Yeah. So yeah, my playing 11 is like Smriti, Shefali, Jamie, Richa, Kanika, and then sixth Minnu Mani, and then they can come with Amanjot Kaur, Deepti, Devika Vadya, Tita Sadhu, and Anjali. Yeah, I think, and according to the condition, they can pick one like Amanjot Kaur or Rajeshwari. If they want to go like spin heavy, then they can pick Rajeshwari, and they like then there will be variety in the spin also. And otherwise, they can pick Amanjot Kaur as she provides some batting.
The few contrasting points in terms of the 11s that you've picked up. You have had Amanjot Kaur and Deepti Sharma at 7 and 8, while Kshitij has gone for them being at 3 and 4. Now, I want to know the reasons for both from you. I believe Kshitij's reason is that someone like Deepti Sharma requires a little more time, and then she can find those boundaries. Kshitij can elaborate on that, and then Veena, I'll come to you.
Right. So, like I mentioned, in the absence of Harmanpreet Kaur, you need someone with experience who can, navigate through those middle overs, right? So, and I don't think that India has anyone because Jemmy has done well at number three, but I think she needs someone who can just guide her through. Now, I'm not really sure about Deepti's mental strength because she has shown on various times with her run out and everything in international games and even during the WPL that sometimes she gets lost. But I think as a senior player now, she needs to take up that extra responsibility and help other batters out, because Richa Ghosh is someone who likes to go from ball one. So you need that experienced player who can just guide these youngsters, right? And now I said Amanjot at 3 because whatever I saw her in her debut game against South Africa, where she scored 40 odd. It was just class, pure class, because she could play uh, the pacers well, and she was able to again hit the spinners as well. So I feel like if we have to develop the players, it is the best time to actually, the Asian Games will give you a good opportunity for them to look at how Amanjot Kaur goes as a batter as well at number 3, because then the other games we have South Africa coming up, and then we'll have Australia and England coming up over India for twos, and those games will be really important. So you need to look at your youngsters, how they perform. So even if, let's say, even if India doesn't win a gold medal, it won't be the end of the world, because we do not have a head coach at all, right? So we need to gain something out of these Asian Games. So treat it like that and see what these youngsters can bring to the table, and just see how they fare in pressure situation, because all the games will be knockouts.
Hi, Gurpreet, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Those who have been on a lot of cricket.com shows, they know that at least once it happens in every show that I'm speaking while I'm mute and not realizing it, and the others pointed out. So I thought that this show will probably end without that, but it wasn't to be. Anyway, regardless. So I was saying that it was quite an elaborative explanation by Kshitij, and there were there was some merit to those explanations, that it won't be the end of the world even if India don't win the gold, because there's no head coach. So if we are able to take a lot of learnings from it, it won't be the end of the world. Now, Veena, before you answer the question that I asked you, a question from Ankit has come your way, that should Harman play at the final, or should Smriti and company play the whole tournament? What do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think Harman
I,
should play.
I want to know this from you, because I know you're not a big fan of Harman's captaincy. But
No,
anyway,
no. Yeah, I like that is the case, but like Harman should play because we can miss the Harman the captain, but we can't miss Harman the batter. So I have always respect Harman the batter. So I think should, like in the absence of few players, like Harman should play. So I think there should be no doubt about it.
fair enough. And you have Amanjot and Deepti Sharma at 7 and 8. Now
Yeah.
I want to understand from you, what is the particular reason for having them at 7 and 8. I know Deepti, some a lot of times does bat lower down the order for India, and that is where she hasn't really. Oh, we've lost Veena. Let's wait for her to come back and see. But yes, all those of you who are watching right now, I'd request you to press the like button. And if you like this conversation and you like the content that we make at cricket.com, please spread the word. Please subscribe to the channel. Follow us on various social media. We are there on Instagram as cricket.com_official. We are there on Twitter as we are cricket. Our handle is @ we are cricket. Follow us there. We are also there on Facebook. If you like to chat cricket with me, you can follow me on Twitter as Gurkirat S Gill, and on Instagram I'm there as GillyCricket. Kshitij is also fairly active on Twitter, so is Veena. We're just waiting for Veena to join back again, so that we can complete the show and get the answer from her. She's dropped out. Let's just wait. But till the time Veena comes back, I want to know from you, Kshitij, that how was your experience of being on this show?
Oh,
You've made your debut on this show after a long time. But how was the experience?
yeah, it's been great. I mean, just talking cricket is in itself is great. I mean, that's something that we always do all the time, in groups, in friend circles. So to have a platform to discuss women's cricket specifically, it feels great.
We will be planning to do some watch alongs during the Asian Games when India play. So I look forward to having you guys on those shows and having a conversation with you guys, because uh, the cricket community might be a very big one, but the cricket.com community is still growing. We are 35,000 and a few and a few hundred subscribers strong. But the women's cricket community is still is even a more smaller field. So we want to grow that as much as possible, and I really look forward to having both of you on our shows for these discussions. Now, Veena, since you got dropped out, I want to
Yeah,
ask
sorry.
a question to you that you have Amanjot and Deepthi at 7 and 8. Now, Deepthi, we have seen that whenever has had to come in the later half of the innings or the last few overs, she hasn't been able to find the boundary straight away. Uh, so, do you really think that her batting at 7 or 8 is the best way to utilize her batting skills? Or are you doing it because you feel others are more suited to bat in the top six?
Yeah, that's the second case is right. So like others are more suited to bat at that position because I want to give Minu Mani more chances at that position because I talked about like she can finish the game. I have seen her hitting some sixes. So and last option is like for us is Amanjot and Deepti. So like you can flip, like you can come bring Amanjot at seventh and down the order at it because I want Deepti to bat at the last because I have not seen her like I'm watching like from last 2 years, like there is not much improvement. Like whenever she comes, so she if she will come in last 2 over, then there is a chance then she will find a boundary. But if she will come like on 15 overs, then she will waste 3 and 4 over. Then she will hit the boundary only in last two. So I think it will be good to like send her at the end.
Fair enough. So this is probably all that we wanted to discuss about in the lead up to the Asian Games, and I'm very glad that both of you were able to join me and share your thoughts on the squad as well as the combination. And before I end this, there's another person who I know is very knowledgeable about the women's game. He's just tuned in. Surya's there. He says, I wonder if Kanika Ahuja could be a dark horse in Harman's absence. Wide range of shots and she can bowl too. Well, Surya, you would be happy to know that both the experts that I have had today, they've also rated her quite highly. So I guess all of us are in agreement over there. But as I was saying, it was great to have both of you on the show. There's always something to learn when I'm, following your tweets or talking about women's cricket from you guys. And today was a real pleasure for me. And I hope to see both of you again on our shows on cricket.com, especially the ones that we do for women's cricket. That doesn't mean that I don't want you guys on our shows for men's cricket. Please be there if you're willing to. We'd be happy to accommodate you guys. But we really look forward to having both of you on our women's shows.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Veena. And on this note, I'll now end the show. And yeah, I think this is the best comment that we can close out the show with. That hope the girls bring us gold. Yes, that is the hope because this women's team has been close to silverware quite a few times in the last 5 years. If you could say talk about their journey or performance in one line, it could be that so close yet so far in quite a few tournaments. Hopefully, this time they go one step further and bring us the gold or the first position that we are looking at. Thank you so much. Please do tune into our review show today after the Asia Cup game finishes between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Tomorrow, India play Bangladesh. We'll be doing a preview show, a mid-inning show, and the review show, and we'll be doing the same on Sunday when is the final when it's the final of the Asia Cup. So do tune in then, and we look forward to having all of you there. Thank you so much. Bye bye.